So please close your eyes. And just bring your awareness to what's happening in your mind. And see if you can very gently step out of the thinking. So that you become a witness to your own thoughts. And as with all of these kind of exercises, just accept whatever actually happens. So never get too worried about having to perfectly follow the instructions. So whatever happens is just fine. But as best you can, be aware of your thoughts. And particularly perhaps what kind of footprint they leave within your psyche. So not only interested in noticing the thoughts, but also noticing whatever ripples they leave. And of course, if your mind goes completely blank, then hallelujah. And then please bring your awareness to your feelings. How are you? And as best you can, simply embrace, welcome in, or accept whatever it is that you feel. And if you feel or you find resistance, then welcome that resistance. And here is a question for you. What would it be like if there was absolutely no need to change anything about yourself? How would it feel if there was no need to change in any way anything about yourself? If in some circumstances you're a coward, then hallelujah. If in some circumstances you're a pervert, then hallelujah. If in some circumstances you're losing, then hallelujah. What would it be like if you really didn't need to change a thing? So I'm actually going to start by reading a poem. And before I do that, just let me check again. Everybody's comfortable? Anybody need anything? So this poem is called Kindness by Naomi, and I might be pronouncing this wrong, Shihab Nye. So as I read it, just allow the words to flow and just allow yourself to respond to them or not respond to them. Kindness. Before you know what kindness really is, you must lose things. Feel the future dissolve in a moment, like salt in a weakened broth. What you held in your hand, what you counted and carefully saved, all this must go, so you know how desolate the landscape can be between the regions of kindness. How you ride and ride, thinking the bus will never stop. The passengers eating maize and chicken will stare out of the window forever. Before you learn the tender gravity of kindness, you must travel where the Indian in the white poncho lies dead by the side of the road. You must see how this could be you, how he was someone who journeyed through the night with plans and the simple breath that kept him alive. Before you know kindness as the deepest thing inside, you must know sorrow as the other deepest thing. You must wake up with sorrow. You must speak to it till your voice catches the thread of all sorrows and you see the size of the cloth. Then it is only kindness that makes sense anymore. Only kindness that ties your shoes and sends out into the day to mail letters and purchase bread. Only kindness that raises its head from the crowd of the world to say, "It is I you have been looking for," and then goes with you everywhere like a shadow or a friend. So I'll read it again, actually. Before you know what kindness really is, you must lose things. Feel the future dissolve in a moment, like salt in a weakened broth. What you held in your hand, what you counted and carefully saved, all this must go, so you know how desolate the landscape can be between the regions of kindness. How you ride and ride, thinking the bus will never stop. The passengers eating maize and chicken will stare out of the window forever. Before you learn the tender gravity of kindness, you must travel where the Indian in the white poncho lies dead by the side of the road. You must see how this could be you, how he was someone who journeyed through the night with plans and the simple breath that kept him alive. Before you know kindness as the deepest thing inside, you must know sorrow as the other deepest thing. You must wake up with sorrow. You must speak to it till your voice catches the thread of all sorrows, and you see the size of the cloth. Then it is only kindness that makes sense anymore. Only kindness that ties your shoes and sends out into the day to mail letters and purchase bread. Only kindness that raises its head from the crowd of the world to say, "It is I you have been looking for," and then goes with you everywhere, like a shadow or a friend. So, please close your eyes. Make yourself comfortable. And of course, it isn't too late to grab another blanket or another pillow or whatever. If having sat for a few minutes you think, maybe I wish I'd done that. So if there's anything you wish you'd done, please do it. Otherwise, please bring your awareness to your breath. Noticing if you feel it change with your awareness, and if you feel that it is changing in an uncomfortable way because of your awareness, try to have a lighter touch. It's a bit like seeing out of the periphery of the eye. So rather than staring in a hard manner at the breath, we're just seeing it out of the corner of our eye. Inviting perhaps a sense of ease. And if that sense of ease is evasive, then just accepting whatever the experience is. And please visualize that as you're inhaling yourself very deeply into your body. And as you're exhaling, you're really cementing your place in the body. So as you're inhaling deeper into your body, and as you're exhaling, you're really relaxing or settling into that greater depth. All the while simply accepting whatever you experience. And then please rest your awareness in the air above your head. If you like, you can pretend that with your breath you're breathing yourself into that space. And just feeling the lightness and the boundarylessness of it. Inviting in a sensation of lightness and a boundless space. And then letting go of that experience, and please rest your awareness in the ground beneath your feet. And if you like, you can imagine that you're really breathing yourself into the earth or into the ground. And perhaps inviting a feeling of solidness, feeling of boundary, of sharp definition of shape. And whatever else might come up as well or instead. And then letting go of that experience, please simultaneously be aware of the space above your head and the ground beneath your feet. Perhaps a little like experiencing both at the same time, but being neither, or being both simultaneously. And then letting go of that experience, please visualize that there is a sun above your head which is very warm. Perhaps you're on a beach, somewhere hot. You can feel tangibly the warmth on your skin. Maybe even feeling a little sweaty. Imagine or remember or even directly experience the heat. And then let go of that experience. And just visualize or imagine that you're placing your feet very gingerly into an icy stream. Feel that coolness in your toes, that numbness. The whole body cooling down. And then letting go of that experience and feeling heat and coolness at the same time. And please gently bring your awareness back to your breath. Just a light touch of awareness. And please imagine that as you're exhaling, you're falling asleep. And then letting go of that experience. As you're inhaling, every time you're inhaling, you're becoming more awake, really brightly awake with every inhale. Absolutely clear, absolutely present with the inhale. And now with every inhale being clear and present and awake, really, really present. And also with every exhale falling towards sleep. Inhaling yourself present and bright and awake, exhaling yourself towards sleep. And then letting go of that experience. We're going to do a fairly fast rotation through the body. And whenever I name a part of the body, you can either put your mind there, or you can bring that part of the body into your mind. And then as soon as we move on to the next one, just let it go. Starting off at the eyebrow center and moving down to the center of the collarbone. Across to the right shoulder, the right elbow, thumb, first finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, to the wrist, the right elbow, right shoulder, across to the center of the collarbone, across to the left shoulder, left elbow, left thumb, first finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, the wrist, elbow, left shoulder, across to the center of the collarbone, down to the center of the chest, left breast, center of the chest, right breast, center of the chest, the navel, down to the pubic bone, across to the right hip, right knee, right ankle, big toe, second, third, fourth, fifth, ankle, knee, hip, pubic bone, left hip, knee, ankle, big toe, second, third, fourth, fifth, ankle, knee, hip, pubic bone, navel, center of the chest, center of the collarbone, eyebrow center, crown of the head, and then the whole of the body. And gently rest your awareness lightly touching the breath, including the whole of the body. And recognizing perhaps that in some ways we have had life thrust upon us. We were created or born into the flow of life. And life is flowing from breath to breath. And yet within this life, we may often feel like we struggle, or we suffer. And in some ways it's a life that we've just found ourselves in. Perhaps we can get into a contact with the part of ourselves that wants to have peace of mind or wholeness or kindness, that wants to feel well in and of itself. And if you can catch the scent of it, then focus or rest your awareness in this desire to be free from suffering. What it's like perhaps to be struggling and want peace of mind and contentment, peaceful contentment. And knowing that this desire is not an exhausted resignation, but a genuine wish for kindness and wisdom. And maybe you can even put a visualization to this desire for peaceful contentment, for wholeness. Whatever words make sense to you, you can use the words that make sense to you. So we're going to spend a little time building up our own image of kindness. What kindness might be like. What compassion or nurturing might look like or feel like. It's a little bit as if we're going to make our own personal embodiment or deity or symbol, which is really what they do in Eastern religions when they have deities or archetypes. They're looking for that inner mind state, something with wisdom and strength, with warmth, something non-judgmental. Maybe it would help if you smile or half smile. And think, contemplate your image. Do you want to have a human figure, a male or a female? Or would nurturing and compassion to you be an animal form, or light, or something else entirely? What might be around this image? If it's a being, what might they be holding? What colors, what shapes? Are there any sounds? If you're less visual, maybe even it would be all about the sound. Are there any other senses you want to involve in your image, with your sound? Be as playful and creative as you like. And how does this image then, in kindness and acceptance and wisdom and warmth, how does this image relate to you? Perhaps the light is shining on you. Perhaps the hand is holding you. How does the image relate to you? And how do you relate to the image? And now the invitation is to swap places with your image. So you are that light, you are that image, that figure of compassion, of warmth, of non-judgment, of wisdom, of strength. You are that image, whatever was in that image. And as kindness and wisdom and non-judgment and warmth, You are looking at your own life, your own self. Particularly bringing forth whatever part of your life most needs healing or kindness. And as the embodiment of those things, you ray down, you send compassion. Maybe as thoughts, maybe simply as a feeling or a desire or a wish. You send it to yourself, to your life, to whatever situation. Accepting whatever that feels like. Embracing whatever that feels like, even if there is also a little pain. And then if you like, you can switch places back and receive. Receive, receive, receive. And if at any point judgments rear their ugly heads, or even their beautiful heads, then pour compassion on the judgment, on the one that needs to make the judgment. If you really touch into this archetype of compassion, then it's like water from a waterfall. It never stops flowing. Just goes on and on and on, giving. And if there's someone in your life who you feel is also in need of it, you can welcome them in too. Either you can imagine them receiving, or you can switch back into your image of compassion and shower them. If you have any discomfort in your body, any uncomfortable feelings, you can shower those feelings or those sensations or that part of yourself or that part of your body. If you wish, you can stay with these imageries, these imaginings. Or if you wish, you can simply return to the breath. And either way, the invitation is to quietly say thank you. And if you really can't say thank you, then bless the part of you that can't say thank you. And if you can't bless it, accept it. If you can't accept it, accept the resistance. So we're going to finish with the poem that we often finish with. Just allow or invite the words to stir whatever they do or don't stir inside. More radiant than the sun. More radiant than the sun. Purer than snow. As water freezes, it tends to separate out from impurities or dirt. Purer than snow. Finer than ether. Finer than the finest thing you can imagine that has existence. Finer than ether. The spirit of the heart. That spirit I am. And just take a moment to find the part of yourself that can say I am. That spirit I am. I am that spirit. More radiant than the sun. Purer than snow. finer than ether. The spirit of the heart. That spirit I am. I am that spirit. Okay, I'm going to turn off the